Well, it is now nearly 11:30 p.m. on Monday, August the 28th, uh, 2023. And, um, okay, we turn that off. This phone's doing weird things. Things are being switched on and off on this phone all the time. I don't understand it. Stuff I'm not doing, it's just happening. But anyway, we had an eventful day. Rocky went to the veterinarian and he got his booster shots and everything. He's not feeling very well right now. The poor little guy is having a rough time of it. They did warn me though that he'd be like this probably, that he'd be tired and not feeling the greatest. And he isn't feeling the greatest, I can tell. And he's tired. But hopefully he'll feel a lot better tomorrow. They were quite surprised by how good he was, because in his file, when I brought him into the examination room with the vet tech and we closed the door, I asked the vet tech if I should open the cage and let him out, and the vet tech was afraid to let him out. The vet tech said, well, if you think it would be safe, he said, it says on the file that he's vicious and that he has behavioral problems. And I said, well, that doesn't really sound like Rocky. I said, I know he had a bad time when he was here last year. I said, I wasn't in the room, so I said, I don't know what exactly happened. But I said, I was told that he wasn't very nice to the vet. And I said, that's probably where that's coming from. But I said, he was quite stressed out from the trip here. So I had to bring him on the back of a wagon, put him in his cage and bring him drag him down there on a wagon. I had to drag him 2 miles. And he's afraid of traffic. Every time a car went by, he freaked out. And so he was really in a bad frame of mind when we got there. So I told him all that, and I said, he probably just wasn't in a good frame of mind. That's how he was having a bad day. So anyway, I let him out. I said he'll just go around. He'll check everything in the room out and stuff. But he won't. He's not vicious. He won't attack anybody or anything like that. So anyway, I let him out, and that's what he did. He just wandered around the room and checked everything out. And then the guy was wondering. He said, "Would you think we'd be able to weigh him? Would it be safe to weigh him?" And I said, "Well, I don't see why not. I'll just pick him up and put him on the scale." So I did. I picked him up. I put him on the scale. He stood there and he got weighed. And they said he weighed, I think he said 14.6 pounds. Because he's a big boy. Anyway, then the vet tech was petting him and everything. And he was purring. He was being really good. And the vet tech was surprised. And when the veterinarian came in, she was surprised too. Because she was expecting a monster. And he was just so friendly and kind and nice, the way he always is. And so they were quite surprised anyway. He was a far different cat than his medical records were indicating. And they said that. They said that he was a really good cat. They were surprised. Anyway, when the vet went to listen to his heart, he was purring so loudly that you couldn't hear his heart. So she waited a while and she listened to it again later, and she was able to hear it then. And she also listened to his lungs, and he has very strong heart. She said there's no murmur detectable or anything, and very strong lungs too. He's very healthy. He's a very healthy cat. And she also said that he doesn't look like a 15-year-old cat. That to look at him, she wouldn't think that he was as old as he is. He's got a touch of arthritis, which of course I already knew that about him. And he's got a bad ear infection, which I suspected. I mentioned to the vet tech when he asked about issues or whatever that I figured he might have. I mentioned that his ears seemed to be bothering him, shaking his head a lot and scratching around them a lot and stuff. So he does have a really bad ear infection. I did pay for an antibiotic to go into his ears, but I forgot to get it when I was there. Anyway, the lady who drove me there today is going to be there on Wednesday. She has some business there on Wednesday, so she's going to pick it up for me. And they just live behind here in the field, so she'll pick it up for me anyway. Rocky's a little bit out of it right now because he's had his vaccinations and it's made him really sleepy and sluggish and whatnot. He's not feeling the greatest right now. But like I say, they did tell me that would happen. When I get the antibiotic on Wednesday, I'll start him on that. I may shave that one leg that has the bump on it anyway and start putting the polysporin to it tomorrow. I'll either shave it tomorrow or the next day, I don't know yet. But soon anyway. I don't want to do that to him today because I figure he's been through enough today. But yeah, he was a good boy anyway. He did really well. And other than when the vet was sticking the swabs in his ears to clean them out, he didn't like that. But other than that, and he did make some bad noises while that was going on. But other than that, he was really good. And in fact, even with that, he was really good. It was just he didn't like it, which is understandable, you know. It was understandable that he didn't like it. He didn't understand what was going on. To him, he probably thought they were trying to kill him or something. So, I mean, like I say, he was pretty good anyway. I was quite impressed with him. And they were quite impressed too. They didn't think he was going to be good at all because they had seen what it said on his file. But it's too bad anyway. It's a kind of an injustice that stuff is written on his file because that's really not who he is. But that does happen sometimes. Me and my cat are alike. I've got lots of things written on files about me that don't adequately describe me. So I guess Rocky and I have that in common anyway. But anyway, that's what's happened today. We're going to go to bed very shortly. Of course, we're already in the bed, but I mean, we're going to actually go to sleep very shortly. Rocky's already asleep, as you can see. And that's it. So I hope you're all having a good day, night, or whatever it is, wherever you are. And Rocky and I will see you in the morning. Good night.